And I take a look at another instrument, and that's the turn coordinator. Turn coordinator, of course, shows you whether or not you're coordinated. When the ball's in the center, you're coordinated. And it also tells you when you're banking or turning the aircraft. We'll talk about how that works, and to make sense out of how that works, let's you and I take a look at an airplane with a gyro in it. First of all, here's the way the gyro was arranged back in the original instrument, the turn and bank indicator. That was the needle and ball. Now, the turn coordinator is a little different. It has a picture of an airplane in it, and we'll talk about what the difference is and how they work. Here is the old turn and bank indicator arrangement, and you have a gyro aligned with the axis of the aircraft, and when the airplane yaws, and that means the nose comes around and moves through the horizon, you would find that this gyro would attempt to be disturbed, and it would fight back and have precession as it fought back, and the needle would measure the rate of precession and tell you your rate of turn. But someone said, look, that's a problem because this doesn't tell you when you're banking the airplane. It only gives you an indication when the nose starts to move through the horizon. And one of the problems is that you can get an airplane in a very steep bank, and if the nose hadn't started to move through the horizon yet, it doesn't give you any indication. Well, they said it'd be nice if you had some kind of instrument that not only told you when the nose had actually started turning through the horizon, but it also gave you an indication when you're about to lose control of the airplane and banking it. And somebody says, well, we could do that. Here's how we're doing. We're just going to tilt this gyro up at an angle like so. Now, when you start to bank the airplane, it'll move this gyro's axis. And when the gyro axis attempts to move, it fights back and gives you an indication. And that's how the turn coordinator works. It not only tells you when you start moving the nose through the horizon, movement about the yaw axis, but it also tells you movement about the roll axis, and it gives you an earlier indication. So what axes, they're going to ask you on a test, does the turn coordinator give you an indication of movement about? And the answer is the yaw axis and the roll axes. So let's go back one more time and take a look at that turn coordinator. And when you see that turn coordinator, you now know that the turn coordinator is not the needle and ball, but it's the ball with the picture of the airplane in it. And when you have this airplane in it, that tells you it's not a turn and bank, it's a turn coordinator, and it shows you movement of both about the yaw and the roll axes.